Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Corey Biggs, Director of Policy and Advocacy at myFutureNC. I'm going to jump right in because this is one of those moments where timing really matters. And it's an exciting time, with the General Assembly having begun their short session and with real momentum for the Workforce Act of 2026. We have an excellent, though small, window to move the Workforce Act this session, and our state can't afford to miss out on this opportunity. At a high level, this legislation is about better connecting education and workforce so people can move into good jobs without getting stuck in dead ends or having to start over. And right now, things are lining up. There's momentum, there's attention, there's a real path forward. I'll quickly ground us in where things are. The Workforce Act has been filed as legislation in both the North Carolina House of Representatives as House Bill 1163 and the North Carolina Senate as Senate Bill 986. These bills have support from key sponsors, and I want to say that we're really grateful for the leadership of those legislators, in particular, Senators Settle, Heiss, and Corbin, as well as Representatives Blackwell, Lambeth, Perret, and Sheetzelt, who've stepped up to guide this legislation. This is the beginning of the process. We need this legislation to keep moving. We'll be keeping in touch with the bill sponsors about next steps, including committee assignments, and we'll work to line up as much support for this legislation as we can in the days ahead. And at this stage, what moves forward often comes down to what legislators are hearing directly from constituents and from people in the field. They're hearing from a lot of different voices right now. What rises to the top is what people take the time to speak up about. And the next few weeks are going to be extremely important. So, what's actually in the Workforce Act? We worked with partners across the state to focus on a set of areas where relatively modest investment can go a long way quickly and where the return is clear. More people in good jobs and a stronger economy for North Carolina. We landed on four key pillars. First, work-based learning, especially apprenticeships. We have strong work-based learning models across North Carolina. The challenge isn't whether they work, it's scale. Right now, myFutureNC, the state office that helps employers launch and grow apprenticeships, is facing a $3.1 million funding shortfall due to grant funding going away this summer. That funding supports the staff across the state who work directly with employers to create these opportunities. Without that investment, we risk losing the very capacity that helps expand apprenticeships in the first place. Second, career exploration through nccareers.org. This is a tool that's already being used by many public schools, and that number is growing. Importantly, it's not just students using it. Adults are too. With a one-time investment of $1.5 million, we can expand this tool to reach more working adults, people who may be underemployed, folks preparing for reentry, and transitioning service members. We have a large military population in North Carolina, but we lose too many of them to other states when they transition out of the service because they find a job faster somewhere else. This is a chance to change that by helping people see and access opportunities here in North Carolina. Third, making education pathways more seamless, especially transfer across higher education. North Carolina is launching a digital transcript system. Think of it like MyChart for education. And there is an opportunity now to build on that system to make transfer easier so that students can see how credits apply across institutions and choose the fastest, most affordable path to a degree. This transfer technology, which is being piloted successfully at a handful of colleges, also allows us to automate reverse transfer. So if a student has earned enough credits for an associate degree but leaves before finishing their bachelor's, they won't walk away with nothing to show for their effort. That's huge. A $2.5 million investment would expand the pilot already underway within the UNC system and bring these benefits to more students. And we also need to make sure our private colleges are included in the digital transcript so students don't have gaps in their records when they move between institutions. And fourth, employer-valued credentials. Over the past few years, partners across the state have identified more than 150 non-degree pathways that lead to good jobs in high-demand fields. The ask here is twofold. First, modest recurring funding to fully embed this work within state government. And second, increasing financial aid for short-term workforce programs from $1 million to $2 million annually, because we never want to see someone walk into a college and say, "This is the path I'm ready to take," and have the response be that there's no funding left for them. For too many people, that's where the journey stops. And just to step back for a moment, none of this is theoretical. This builds on work that is already producing results across North Carolina. This is about scaling what we already know works. In addition to the four pillars I just described, the legislation includes an evaluation component because we want to be sure to learn from the impact of these important investments and to continue building on this strong foundation. Over the last several years, myFutureNC has continuously shone a light on areas important to our state's future, from foundational pieces like NC Pre-K, the science of reading, and North Carolina's need-based scholarships, to compelling new ideas like the NC College Connect initiative, the Next NC Scholarship, the Boost program to improve student persistence and completion, and Propel NC, the transformational funding model that's been proposed for North Carolina's community colleges. The Workforce Act of 2026 complements this work and represents another pivotal step in the right direction for North Carolina. It's exciting to see all of this come together. So here's where you come in. We're asking you to do two things over the next few days. First, find your legislator. This takes maybe 30 to 60 seconds using the General Assembly's website. We'll show you exactly how to do it. On the General Assembly's website, you'll notice up here on the top right a link that says Find Your Legislators. If you click that link, you can search by address. You just simply enter your address and click, and the results will be provided for you with your North Carolina House member and North Carolina Senate member represented on the screen. All right, so now you know how to find your legislator. The next task of you is to reach out, to send a quick email or make a call and let your legislators know you support the Workforce Act. This can take just a few minutes. The key thing here is that our General Assembly members hear from you and that they hear from you soon. If you're part of a team or organization, send this to your colleagues. Share it with your partners. The more people they hear from, the better. And if you haven't already, go ahead and pull out your phone and scan the QR code on the screen. That'll take you straight to everything you need so you can take action and so that you can continue to track this legislation as it moves forward. I'll leave you with this. We've got only a short amount of time to influence what happens next with the Workforce Act. And at the end of the day, things move when legislators hear from enough people that they can't ignore it. So the ask is simple. Find your legislator, reach out, and share the materials. If we all do that, this has a real shot. This will move if we all move, starting now. Thanks so much, everyone.